Welcome back to another episode of the Family Album, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, AJ Tenari.
And I'm Matt Glass.
Last week, you heard our very special guest episode with one Andrew Marshall, where we talked about Twin Fantasy and God Save the Animals. What a fun episode that was.
He was a really, really nice guest to have.
I agree. Andrew, if you're listening, thanks.
Thanks, man. Really
nice album. Some nice indie rock. And we're not really going to continue that theme this week.
Probably not, no.
Nah. Matt, I have a question for you.
What's up?
Do you think that Mr. Black and Mr. White from Johnny Test were lovers?
It's hard to say. Who's to say for sure? Why do you ask that, AJ?
Because on this week's album.
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding. I wanted a goofy question to open up this episode. There's no relation to either album. I just wanted to goof, you know.
I see. It's very honestly, from what I remember, because I have not seen Johnny Test in a hot minute. Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Yeah, I could see it.
Possibly.
Mm-hmm. They go to Fiji a lot.
That's
they
true.
Say they want to go to Fiji a lot.
That is true. They do.
I'm just saying, man. The evidence points to Mr. Black and Mr. White forever and ever. My OTP.
Amen. Anyway, I'm glad. I hope you enjoyed that.
Next
time on the Family.
Hey, I'm your host, Data tonight. But yeah, so what albums? What do you got today, Matt? We got some interesting albums. We might have the first time we disagree heavily on the albums this week.
It seems so. We have. Well, you gave me the album American Football.
Yes, by American Football.
Yes, indeed.
And then Matt gave me The Ambassador by Gabriel Kahane.
I did indeed.
Both albums that I enjoy very much.
I enjoyed one of them, specifically the one that I picked.
So Matt, who you want to go first this week?
You know what, AJ? I feel like we always follow this weird format where like I give you an album that you don't like, and I always save your opinions for last. So I'm going to flip that where we can do
a switcheroo.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll talk about The Ambassador first.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Let me get my notes ready real quick.
Now, this album I'm quite a fan of. Mm-hmm. It's The Ambassador by Gabriel Kahane.
Yeah. He
is a very, very talented musician. Mm-hmm. Like, insane.
Singer, songwriter, composer. He does it all.
He's quite incredible.
Yeah. There's really not like too much information about this album out there. It was released June 3rd, 2014 on Masterworks Records. And it is, I believe, a concept album all about Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And like the various places that exist there, because they're all like named after specific places there.
They are.
And the stories they tell are both real and fictional.
It's fun. It's a nice little fun slew of both.
Yeah, it's a cool experience all around. I really enjoyed. Shall we dive right in?
I guess so.
All right, so the first song we have here is Black Garden, parentheses, 2673 Dundee Place. I think it's a really solid opener overall. Definitely not a favorite song, but it sets the tone for the overall album, which I like a lot.
Yeah, he definitely has this way of composing music that is very, it's very proper.
Yeah.
It's a very proper way of composing
very
music.
Very technical, too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I like this one a lot. Yeah. I think lyrics-wise, it's got some pretty interesting stuff, for sure.
I really like the layered vocals, too, that happen all throughout, plus the very minimal use of percussion is really, it's sparingly used, but used very well.
And, you know, like the whole In This Black Garden, it's a nice little, like, In This Black Garden, like, I love it.
It's a nice, like, syncopation.
Yeah, I like delivery. It a lot. I like it a lot. There's not a lot to say about it. I really feel like it's just a nice vibe and it's a nice tone setter.
Mm-hmm. Overall, solid start. This next one, Bradbury, parentheses 304 Broadway. I really like this one a lot.
Yeah.
I was not expecting this to be about Blade Runner of all things, but that was cool as fuck.
It was kind of dope, yeah. I actually didn't even know that either.
Yeah.
Because like with this, I don't have a lot of experience with this album. There's like 3 tracks in particular that I would listen to because Spotify like magically dropped them my way one day.
Okay.
So, this one I had no idea what it was about, but it's kind of become one of my recent favorites.
Yeah.
It's good.
I enjoy it. This one's really cool. It's basically kind of a musical version of the last monologue that the villain Roy Batty gives before he dies at the end, which is really cool. It's this nice like piano ballad that happens throughout. It's like very like dark and like ominous, but like at the same time like kind of peaceful and like it's melancholy.
Yeah, melancholy is definitely a really good word to use.
It's really nice. I love the piano on this whole album, but here specifically is a standout.
It definitely shines a lot.
Yeah. again, really not much to say.
Yeah, he's just technically kind of brilliant.
Yeah. Also, yeah, the strings on this album is fucking great as well.
Oh my god, I don't know how he can arrange like that. To be
I know,
quite honest
it's
with
crazy.
You.
Good for you, Mr. Kahane. I respect you.
Can we call you Mr. K?
Mr. K?
Yeah, I love your music, but every single time I say your name, I always feel like, one, I'm either saying it incorrectly, or two, it's weird. It's a weird set of syllables.
Yeah,
it's
Kahane.
Kahane.
Instead of Kane.
The next one is Slumlord Crocodile. Are we naming the streets too?
Why not? Parentheses 115 East 32nd Street. I really like the song a lot. This is one of my personal favorites.
It has like a really nice like upbeatness to it.
It's got a shuffle, which I love a lot. This kind of gives like more of the instruments a time to shine, like the drums especially come in very heavy with the which is great. Kahane's vocals, I think, on this song are like one of the best here. Like I really like the delivery a lot. He has a very airy, kind of breathy delivery to some of the vocals, which is really cool. And the 3/4 time signature is just a nice change of pace. I like it a lot.
He has a lot of really nice control over his head voice. Like that's the thing that's really cool about him. But like even his like deeper sort of like range, he has really good like control and like really good handling on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Slumlord Crocodile, I really just love the vibe.
I know. It really fits a tone.
It does.
And it gets you into it.
It really, really does.
It's just like a nice, straightforward indie folk song. Got the nice 3/4 shuffle. It's got a crocodile in there, so what the fuck else could you ask for?
I mean, hey, that's why I like Peter Pan, you know? But yeah, I like this. A lot of times when it comes to albums, I try to see if like the music really can be, if the album art reflects the music. And I feel like for the most part, it really does.
I agree.
And like, I love looking at it.
Yeah, it's
so
very peaceful.
Nice. I love the color palette.
It's like it's very blue, but like you see the orange sunset in the background.
And he's just standing there with his arms behind his back, looking at Los Angeles.
Yes.
Los Angeles.
Where he is, where this album is.
Exactly. Slumlord Crocodile.
Do you know what this song's about?
No. I have no idea.
I think it might be about landlords or some shit. I don't remember.
I mean, I honestly...
That makes sense.
Slumlord.
Yeah.
I'm the Slumlord.
And I'm the Cumlord, his sidekick.
I'm the Companion.
Who brought the Cumlord? I fucking hate this guy.
Not the Cumlord. God. Anyway, yeah, Slumlord Crocodile. Oh man, it's not much else to say, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just most of this album's pretty pleasant.
It's very solid. Much like Alex G, very straightforward but very good.
For sure. I love also just musically brilliant.
Yeah.
Now, shit. Sorry, AJ.
You know, it's funny. We do this bit where I over exaggerate that Matt interrupts me. Listening, because I edit these episodes, listening back, I interrupt you so much more.
It's okay. I deserve it. No, but what I was gonna say, this next track, personally, not one of my favorites.
I agree.
I don't know. Like it's called Veda.
Veda or Veda.
Veda.
One of those two.
One Pierce Drive. And it's, I don't know. I don't really like the way he describes what's happening in this one.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's very...
It's about like having a kid and like wanting the best for them, right? Yeah.
But it's like, there's like some weird like sadistic undertones to it.
It's
not sadistic. Other one, self. It's masochistic undertones to it, and it's like, listen, you do you, but it was just like, why?
You okay, Gabe?
Mr. Kahane, are you okay? No. But honestly, did the slumlord get you? No.
I hope the other guy didn't get to you.
I've got him. No, but anyway, yeah. I like music, again, musically what's happening, I really, really enjoy, but I'm also just kind of like, why?
Yeah.
Like the pierce my heart part, I was like, okay.
Also, the drums on this song, they're a little weird to get into, but once you do, they kind of fit. Because it has like a weird like 16th note hi-hat pattern, which kind of contrasts with the overall slow feel that the song goes for. So it's a little weird to get into at first, but like once it like clicks, it's in the pocket. Also, I like the guitars on this. It has like a nice country sound.
That is true. The guitars do have a really nice like little tonal quality to it for sure. But yeah, Yeah,
it's a nice like tender song, but again, not a favorite. Probably one of my least favorites. but it's still fine.
It's definitely, as Andrew said, the fourth track.
It truly is the fourth track of Gabriel Gaines, the Ambassador.
I love it because, like, I'm not even making fun of. He just was right when it came to animals, like, or God Save the Animals. He was just right. Yeah, it really is just the fourth track. This next track, however, this is what got me into Gabriel.
Not Peter.
Not Peter. Hey, Peter. No. Hey, Peter.
Hey, Peter.
No.
Ever listen to The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway?
Hey, Peter.
Give me your shooby-doob.
What happened to a rail on the Lamb Lies Down on Broadway? That was a terrible Joe Swanson impression. I'm really tired. So the thing is, this song, Empire Liquor Mart, otherwise known as 9127 Figueroa. Street.
Yes. Gotta have that in there.
Empire Liquor Mart. This is the first track I've ever heard on this album.
This is like one of the most popular from this album. Probably like by him as well, too.
Yeah. It has different sections.
Yeah, it's like a symphony, kind of.
But it also like goes back to the original theme in like many different times. Like, I love the nobody reads from the book of Job.
Highlight. I love that section so much.
That little like arpeggiated guitar picking pattern is just so good. I remember when I first like listened to it, when I heard the strings, but then that beat in the middle, it's like the but on the rooftops, like that.
Dude, like the shuffle. Yeah.
It's so good. Like, this is definitely, in my opinion, like the highlight of the album.
Oh yeah, I can definitely see that 100%.
Like, I'm pretty sure this is like the single. No,
maybe it's either this one or the title track.
Maybe
it's one of those two. I don't remember.
Maybe. Honestly though, I do enjoy this one. This is the one that kind of got me into this album in general.
It's like a full composition.
It really
for
is.
like an indie, but like an indie kind of style, which is really neat to like hear. It's very like unique.
It's funny. I discovered this song when I was in high school, and I remember I tried listening to the whole album, and I was like, "This sucks, man." I used to sound
Death of a Bachelor.
Yeah, it's true. I did say that. No, but yeah, I remember like I used to not like a lot of the album, but now I listen to it. And I'm like especially after I've done music for like a little while, and I'm like,
you have like an appreciation for it.
Wow, this is really technically brilliant. So yeah, Empire Liquor Mart. It's just a good time all around.
It's great. It's also about like the LA riots, so it's like really powerful lyrics.
Oh, for sure.
There's really good imagery on this album, very vivid. You can really clearly see what he's saying. He describes so much like good, cool shit.
What's the one line I love? It's like, who brings a fishing net when you're working?
Who brings a fishing vest when you're working at a liquor store? Yeah,
because there's like a whole subplot about people getting like killed and stuff.
Like racist killings in LA. It's really sad.
It really is, but it's such a good track.
Yeah,
it's honestly one of my favorites.
It's handled very well.
Yeah.
So now going off of that very powerful composition that Mr. Kahane made, we have the swanky jazz noir number Musso and Frank, aka 6667 Hollywood Boulevard.
I fucking love this track.
I agree.
I also love just imagining Musso and Frank.
Yeah.
Like, hey, yo, I'm Musso.
I'm Frank over here.
Oh, wait, no. They definitely don't have deep voices. He's like, hey, yo, I'm Musso.
Hey, Johnny Police, be Frankie.
We're gonna shoot you up, man.
Give us the money, the fat lady gets it.
Jesus Christ. But honestly, though, like, they do sound like mobsters that would say something like that. It
fits that like grim 40s noir kind of vibe. It's about like a a femme fatale's in there. There's this like detective on the case who's like drinking himself to death. It's really cool imagery. I love the horns, especially on this song, are so awesome. They really captures that sound perfectly.
Oh, for sure. And the drums, it's, oh my God, it's so fucking good. Like, that was not a great representation of the drums because they're way better than that, whatever that was. But honestly, though, like, I love the weird, like...
Yeah, like, it's very different from everything we've heard before on this album, but it's really nice. It's a very nice change of pace.
It is. It kind of sounds like a train.
It does. Like, yeah, it's like the displaced kind of shuffle of it, like a little bit.
And then also the wah, 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 like it sounds like a train horn.
Yeah, the wah, wah, wah.
Or whatever what I just did was. But anyway, yeah, Musso and Frank, it's a good
highlight.
one.
I really like it a lot.
I enjoy it.
So yeah, the next one we have is Villains, which I quite like a lot. Parentheses 4616 Dundee Drive.
Dundee Drive. Dundee.
Epic The Office reference, dude. I get it because the Dundee. Haha. I'll see myself out.
Oh no. Who's that outside?
It's Rainn Wilson. But yeah, dude, the bass on this fucking song is so cool.
It's pretty good.
It's got
I
like a very
agree.
like sexy kind of evil vibe, which fits the tone.
Villains.
Yes.
No, it's great. I very much love the way that this song was like sort of paced out a bit.
Yeah.
It's got like I don't know how the movement about it is like probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Like something about it.
It's like the bass intro, then the verses, then I guess the chorus where it has like this sort of like really bouncy kind of like almost like a kid's song feel when the backup singer comes in and sings the "Are you nostalgic for a time?"
It's nice. Like I love the fact that it almost kind of has a little bit of this weird momentum to it, but like it's not like
it's not jarring.
No,
like everything, it flows very well.
It really, really does.
It's all about like the 80s action movies, having like nostalgia for that. They name drop Pulp Fiction and Bruce Willis, which is fun.
Yeah.
So I think that like Die Hard was like an inspiration for this album. I remember reading it was like watching Die Hard, and then like that kind of like inspired him to write some stuff.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
that's really, really cool. Yeah, this was not one of the ones that like I would listen to a lot when I was in high school. It was usually Empire, Liquor and Mart, Musso and Frank, and then it was what's the other one?
Is it Ambassador Hotel?
No, it was actually the following track after that.
Oh, Griffith Park.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
We'll
get to that one.
But Ambassador Hotel, otherwise known as 3400 Wilshire Boulevard. This one's okay.
Yeah, it's very like Simon and Garfunkel, just like a classic like 70s folk song. It's just basically Mr. Kahane and his guitar and some claves.
I'm a fan, honestly. Like I think his voice just works in so many different instrument formats, and he just has the same chill vibe. And like what I kind of like is I feel like a lot of artists kind of push for like a catchy hook in a lot of their songs, where he just kind of like he keeps writing, but it's not like forced or stream of consciousness.
No, he's just singing.
He just describes things well. Exactly. Yeah. So honestly, I'm a fan.
Yeah, it's really good. I really like the overall feel here. His vocal delivery is great. The tone of voice is awesome. Complements the overall vibe. I have no idea what the song's about.
Neither do I.
There's a reference to Robert F. Kennedy somewhere, so that's something.
Perfect.
But a very simple and effective song.
Yes, very much so. This next one, though, however,
Griffith Park.
This is probably my third favorite on the album.
I really like this one a lot, otherwise known as 2800 East Observatory Avenue.
I'm a fan. A lot of the lyrics on this one are probably why I like this so much. Like the way he just kind of describes, like even the first one where he's like, you're on the porch amidst the pith of 7 rotten oranges. Like you're in regrets that you unravel after pulling them off the tree. Like, Jesus,
that's pretty good.
I kind of want to own an orchard now. I have a lot of regrets.
Bro got me into orchards.
dude, the orchard life has been...
The orchard fandom is in shambles right now.
Orchard fandom. I don't know why it's so... Like, it's the idea that this like started a farming subculture.
The orchard subreddit.
There probably is one. There's probably an orchard subreddit out there.
After a while, an apple tree out here. Just thought that would be kind of interesting. You know, the apples are kind of mid here. If you want to actually like do it like this, it would be like a lot better.
Obviously, these apples aren't flourishing because the pH in the water is way too high, way too acidic. But yeah, no, I do like the lyrics of this one a lot.
I also love the fucking synth on this song.
Yeah,
it's so good. It's a Wurlitzer, right?
I think
it sounds very similar to the last track of American Football.
Yes, it sure does, Mr. Tanari. No, but honestly though, I like the way he talks about the people that he's like witnessing in this song with like
the kooky characters,
with the actors and the pastors and all that shit. It's interesting.
It's nice.
Nah, he does a really good job lyrically and musically for sure.
I love the part where it's just like kind of like the background singers just going like da 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 with like the synth on top. It reminds me of an Avalanche song from their album Since I Left You. I can't remember what it is though, but it brought me that. And I was like, holy shit, that's so cool.
This album has honestly been a really fun like first listen and re-listen.
Yeah.
Because I've only listened to like 3 songs on this album before. So this was kind of a gamble. Yeah. But I'm glad we both enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's solid, man. So that brings us to the last track on the album, right?
Indeed.
This is Union Station 800 North Alameda Street. This is probably my least favorite track on the album, but I feel like it does definitely work as a closer. It's basically just a piano ballad. And it's fine for what it is. It's just like not like my personal favorite.
I feel the same way, honestly. Like it's pretty like it does a decent job of just kind of like wrapping everything up and all that stuff. But I don't think it's like a go-to listen.
No, it's like a nice like kind of like self-reflection for like the whole album, kind of like encapsulating I guess all the themes that's been going through. But it's a little boring in my opinion.
I agree, honestly. I feel like a lot of this album is like you don't really actively seek out the tracks that much, except for maybe like Empire or Slumlord or
Griffith Park,
Musso, and Frank
Musso.
Mitchell Musso from Hannah Montana.
And who could forget Pair of Kings?
I was gonna say it, but I didn't want you to say it. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want you to say it. Nobody had to say it. But anyway,
I'm sorry.
King Cow, was that the name of the island?
I don't remember. I just remember King Boz. That was.
Oh, you're right.
Was it the Luther character? Was he King Boz?
We don't talk about.
We don't talk about Luther.
We don't talk about Adam Hicks on this podcast.
No, oh, that's true. Adam Hicks is kind of a piece of shit.
we're gonna.
So yeah, Union Station overall, it's fine.
No, honestly, yeah, it's an okay track. I think it does a good job of rounding off the album, but there's really not a lot to say about it. I mean. It's a nice piano ballad. It's a nice vibe.
It gives a nice solo moment for Mr. Kahane to shine, and it's a good way to close the album. It's just, it's his project.
I kind of like to look at, after listening to this album, I kind of like to look at it as if he's like giving a tour.
Yeah,
and I feel like this is just sort of the end of the tour.
Yeah, reminiscing on your experience in LA. That's a good way to put it.
Especially with like the street names and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but it's cool. This album is honestly really, really good.
It's very interesting. Like I said, this brings us to our final thoughts.
Yes, indeed.
So yeah, overall, it's a very solid album. I really liked the different styles it tries as an indie kind of songwriter album. There's folk, there's jazz, there's piano ballads, and everything meshes together so well. The instruments are fucking great. I really like the backup singers a lot. They really just add so much like more to this.
For sure.
I feel like it's like more of a once in a while album. Like I feel like once you hear, you kind of get everything. So not like too much to revisit besides like the lyrics. There's like plenty you could dissect there, especially Empire Central. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed it. I'd probably give this a 7.8 out of 10 and a solid B tier.
I would say that like from a person who only listened to the tracks, like 3 of the tracks on the album primarily, when like approaching this to give to you to like listen to for the first time, it was almost like a sort of a first time for me too as well. I knew how much I liked this 3, so I was like, oh, I'll just run with it. And like honestly, I'm glad I did because it was an enjoyable experience through and through. I can definitely see like there might be some parts where a lot of people might find that it drags like a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say
just because like it is very pleasant, but it's not like there's a lot of action happening.
No,
which sometimes that is a nice thing to have once in a while. But I can't complain about it.
It fits the tone. It's a very like very contained songwriter album. So there's really not like a lot of opportunities for action anyway. I guess just given the genre, but everything works really well, especially when they try different stuff.
I would say definitely, technically, I would give it like with all the technical like elements that probably went into this and like, musical elements, I would say it's like an A tier.
Yeah.
But I think like opinion wise, it's not one that I'm going to be going back to listen to a lot. So I give it like a 7 out of 10.
That's fair. I agree. Like objectively, it's an A tier album personally. I'll come back to it a little bit later.
Yeah.
Like down the line.
I'll keep listening to Slumlord, Empire, and like Musso and Frank. And I'll watch Pair of Kings. But honestly though, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna be going back to like listening through the whole thing.
Yeah, I agree.
All the time.
Well, that does it for Matt's album that he gave to me. Now it's time for the album that I gave to Matt. And we have some very different opinions on this one.
Yes. The album that AJ gave me was one's American Football by
American Football. So would you like a little history lesson, Matt?
Oh, please. Yes.
So American Football was released September 14th, 1999 on Polyvinyl Records and has become a staple of both the Midwestern emo genre and math rock genre. American Football was formed in Urbana, Illinois in 1997 and consisted of members Mike Kinsella on vocals, guitar, and bass, Steve Holmes on guitar, and Steve Lamos on drums. They took a hiatus in 2000, then got back together around 2014, where they added Kinsella's cousin to the lineup, and they still tour to this day.
Yeah, I saw a picture of them on their Spotify page, and I was like, huh. not quite what I imagined they looked like.
Yeah, so Midwestern emo is not the same as, well, like mainstream emo.
No.
It's a lot more stripped back and a lot more casual, I guess. There's a lot of flannel and jeans as opposed to dyed hair and piercings.
For sure. I guess we should get into it.
Dive right in.
Okay, so the first track is called Never Meant. Not the strongest start to an album, in my opinion.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Like, the drums were nice. I feel like the bass kind of fills it a little bit. And I like the finger picking pattern in the song. The songs lyrically are very plain.
Yeah, they're very subtle. There's not a lot to go off of.
Yeah. This is what I imagine a lot of like frat bro college kids might have been listening to in 99. You know, like, I don't know. It's just like if they wanted to feel emotional or whatever. But overall, I feel like the track is a little monotone.
Okay.
I don't really feel anything when I listen to it. Like
I feel hollow.
I genuinely don't feel like anything when I listen to it. At least it sounds clean, which I appreciate.
Yeah, I will say the production on this album is really nice. Even though it's very stripped back, everything sounds really like cohesive and clean. Because there's really not a lot like going on, which I enjoy.
That's true.
I don't know if you knew this, but this song is actually a meme.
Really?
Never Meant. So my personal favorite variation of it is they play the song right before like something horrifying just happens on screen. Like one of my favorites is it's this like zoom in of like a dark hallway, and then like the drums kick in the button, and then like a fucking skinwalker like crawls in front of the camera.
That's funny. Yeah, that's kind of all I really had to say about like the first track.
Okay, I mean, I really like the musicianship a lot. I think it's incredible. Steve Lemos is quickly becoming one of my favorite drummers. I love the 6/4 time signature on this. I love his diversity of like what he's playing on the drums. A lot of different accents with the ride cymbal. His fills are great. The way he carries a beat is really unique and interesting. So that might just be my drummer perspective coming out. That's like what people like why I like it.
I respect it.
But I just really enjoy the song overall. Definitely a favorite for me.
Okay. The next one is called The Summer Ends. It's another like chill vibe.
Yeah, brings it down a little bit.
We got some hand drums.
I think it's a cajon.
It's a cajon. Oh,
yeah.
I see. It's like the cube thingy, right? Yeah.
I think so.
And another picking pattern, but we got a horn this time.
Dude, the trumpet on this album fucking rips. That's by the drummer Steve Lemos, and he fucking kills it. I love it.
I feel like I felt like I was listening to like a soundtrack of a teen drama.
Like Dawson's Creek?
Like, yeah. Like, so there was a show on Cartoon Network a little bit, and it was not at all this chill, but a lot of the background music I feel like sounds the same. It was called like 16 or something like that.
Yeah,
it's like I'm 16
trying to find my way.
It was it was a weird like it
was by the Total Drama creators.
There was a weird strand of time where they just made like 6 shows and only like 2 of them caught on. And now they have Total Drama Rama, which oh my god,
that's unfortunate.
But there's actually gonna be another Total Drama.
There is.
I'm kind of excited.
I know, man.
Wait, speaking of Total Drama, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you have a hatred for Trent?
As a character, or just like, you know, like an unnatural kind of hatred towards him?
I guess I have both in that case. I hate Trent. This whole album is Trent for me.
I mean, like, that's the gimmick. Trent's supposed to be like the straight man to the cast, which I guess is why people don't like him. Plus his character derailment in Total Drama Action just comes out of fucking nowhere, where he just goes crazy about the number 9.
Yeah.
That shit's just fucking weird.
It was weird. We're thinking of the same person with the handprint. Yeah, with the Billy Joe Armstrong.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Holy shit, he does look like Billy Joe.
He is. Except probably not nearly as talented. But anyway, he does play guitar, though. Gwen deserved better.
Yeah, Trent was actually on the recording of American Football.
I thought you were about to say American Idiot.
No.
That would have been wild. He was the Jesus of suburbia.
Yeah, man.
No, it's a nice little... The Summer Ends is a nice, chill vibe. It's funny, like, there was one part where I was like, oh, shit, this is just the intro. I did like it, though. I mean... I liked it before the singing started.
Okay. You don't like Mr. Mike on the mic?
No. Personally, AJ, do not take offense to this. These lyrics kind of suck. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, this is terrible. A handshake and an embrace or a kiss on the cheek. Like, oh, okay. And they say that chivalry is dead. Like,
that's fair. That's fair.
Oh gosh. I do like instrumentally. I feel like I've been saying this for like the last few. Like, I like what's happening, but it feels flat.
Okay.
I don't know.
See, like I was in a similar boat to Matt when I first listened to this album. Like I did not like it at all. I listened to it like while I was working at a shitty job, so that also might have
I'm sure,
played a part. But I chose this album because I feel like I've been being too positive on the podcast with the albums that I bring in. So I wanted to bring in something that I was like pretty like mixed about, and then the more I listened to it, the more I really fucking liked it.
Okay.
So
maybe I'll have to re-listen to it again because I listened to it twice and I still have been like.
I was also telling you I listened to this when I was like extremely sad, which really helped a lot.
I see. Okay.
So maybe just when you're just fucking depressed, throw on American football.
Oh, great.
See what happens.
Great, and then I'll quickly switch it to American Idiot, where there's a lot of stuff happening.
Yes,
but no, I mean, I promise I'll try to be a bit more tame.
Matt, honestly, hey, opinions are opinions, guys. Remember, we all have them; they're all different. So, Matt, if you fucking hate this album, go off.
Okay. The drums are good though. I will say,
yeah, dude,
on this track, the drums are pretty good.
He's great, man. So I'm not like huge on this song. I feel like it's a nice come down from the first track, but it kind of meanders a bit as it goes on.
That's how I feel about most of this album. Yeah, but the guy's voice also kind of annoys me because like I don't know what it is about it, but that's life. Like later on, oh my gosh, I forgot how charged my notes are. I'm looking through.
I like that it's in 7/4. That's cool. That's neat. That's math rock. We got some complex time signatures in there, right?
I like me some math rock.
Yeah, baby.
Isn't Weezer technically classified as?
No, I don't think so.
Nerd rock or something like that?
Well, they're nerd rock, but math rock is a nerd rock. Math rock is kind of like an offshoot of prog and jazz.
Interesting.
It's more like emphasized on the structure of the music and the complexity of rhythms rather than like being about fucking versions, which is what Weezer is.
I see. I confuse the genres. But yeah, that's the summer ends.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, is the next track.
What are your honest opinions, Matt?
I'm not going to lie to you, AJ.
Mm-hmm.
When I was listening to this, and then all of a sudden I heard like it wasn't even like the main lyrics, but I heard somebody in the background go like, "Teen Dreams." I started like pissing myself. I thought that was the funniest shit I've ever like. Oh my God. It very much had like a "you don't understand me, Dad" kind of like "Teen Dreams."
What's the lyric? I wrote it down. My teenage feelings and their meaning seem too see-through to be true, right?
Oh my gosh!
But I like the syncopation of how they're delivered on the guitar beat.
Probably
guitar beat.
Yeah, it's I will say I am a fan of like guitar picking patterns and stuff, and like I feel like there are a lot of good moments with that on the album where it's at least consistent. Yeah,
like here it's I think believe that this is based off of David Bowie's Rebel Rebel, that riff in the beginning.
Oh.
Yeah. Which I think is really cool before it kind of transitions halfway through into the more like kind of late era Pink Floyd sound, which I really dig a lot.
Okay. The meter and rhythm change was pretty dope. Have you seen Bob's Burgers?
Some of it.
Do you know Jimmy Jr.?
I do.
I feel like low-key. Like this
Jimmy Jr. listens to American football.
I feel like he wrote American football. There's like this whole like bit in the show where
the Musoums?
Yes, yep. The Musoums. Sorry, I got way too excited about Jimmy Jr. But anyway, I'm like Tina. But anyway,
Dad, I use your cologne because you won't buy me my own.
I feel like whoever mixed this just completely neutralized everything in the song.
Okay.
Like I feel like everything is just like I wrote unseasoned.
I mean, that's fair. I just like it kind of more that you can just like hear everything and you're able to like pinpoint like where everything is and what everything's doing. That's what I like about it.
I can see that.
'Cause I like the more homemade amateur feel of it, which is I like that a lot. It's because that fits the genre really well, especially given the lyrics that they're all like depressing and shit.
That's fair. I would say I would relate it to the fact that Twin Fantasy was written on a 3DS.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the 3DS was not around in 99.
That's true.
Unfortunately.
This was written on the Sega Game Gear.
That would be fucking wild. But there was like a lack of emphasis for me on like any instrument.
Okay.
Where I feel like, I don't know, it felt like very weak, especially like on the drums.
Interesting.
Just a little bit.
I heard the drums are the strongest part on this album, though.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Look at us, Matt.
I disagree.
We have a civil discussion about disagreeing opinions.
That's true. That's true.
Who would imagine?
One would think that the tenor in pentatonics is actually a baritone.
Let's just fucking drop this. Guys, we know we fucked up. We're sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, really.
We're sorry. We're sorry.
Okay.
Who cares? Apparently, pentatonics fans do. We're sorry.
Listen, your opinions are just as valid as our opinions.
Yes, we respect you.
But
we just don't like pentatonics.
It's true. But respectfully, we're going to move on.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. The riff kind of also got a little bit annoying with like the 4 chords, just like a little bit.
That's fair. It can definitely go on a little too long, but I feel like it's really nice when it kind of changes like sound overall. I really like that kind of triumphant feeling. It sounds like a Division Bell song by Pink Floyd, which I fucking love. But I'm biased; it's my favorite band, so you know.
That's fair. Pink Floyd is great.
I fucking love Pink Floyd.
Triumphant was definitely not the word I would use, but that's fair. I can see now that you're talking about this whole homemade idea. Like I can see that because okay.
It wasn't self-produced, but it has that like feeling towards it, you know.
I did not like the lyrics, and I wrote them. I copied and pasted them into my notes just because
you need some examples.
The whole fucking song, they seem too see-through to be true.
Yeah.
All the who's are there, but the whys are unclear. I am Lord. No, I'm kidding. Love you, Lord. But anyway.
And Alex G.
And Alex G. Yeah. Picture this, a long-awaited sickening kiss. I don't know why, but it's like, I don't think these lyrics are like so annoying.
They're museums, man.
The museums. Yeah. I hate the fact that he ends on the word honestly with the question mark, like the fucking title of the song.
Dude, but it's like a callback, dude. It's like, that's the song, man.
Wow. What a concept.
My teenage feelings their meanings seem too see-through to be true. What don't you get?
Anyway, so track number 4.
Yes.
For sure. For sure.
Wicked nuts.
I like the vibe that the horn riff provides.
Yes, right?
With the guitar supporting it underneath. I just...
it's like The Summer Ends But Better.
I kind of wish that this song was just an instrumental. Just a little bit.
I like the vocals here.
I
like the production of them. I like how they sound. But then again, I didn't really pay attention to the lyrics, so maybe that's just me.
The song's lyrics are even shorter than the other ones.
Yeah, it's like just one stanza.
I can't tell if the song was just completely nothingness or if the other one is. That's what I wrote in my notes, which I feel like was a little bit charged. I will admit. Okay. I will admit. I feel like it was a little bit charged me saying that. But yeah, honestly, not.
No, Matt, this is for sure.
I'm gonna leave. But anyway, if I'm being frank, I would say that
I'll be Moose. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's fine. at least you referenced a better album. No, but anyway, I feel like I don't dislike this song as much as the previous one.
Okay. I mean, I like the production on this song a lot. I really like how kind of distant and like breathy and like almost ethereal the vocals kind of sound. It sounds like really soft and like down, which I like a lot. I also like the production on the lyric, relatively stable, and then tentatively able is like in the distance in your right ear, which I like a lot. I think that's fun.
I think the reasons you like it are the reasons why I don't like it.
I see.
I think it's the fact that his vocals are distant and breathy and like that. Hey,
different strokes, different folks. I'm the cum lord.
I am the Eggman, and you're listening to the Family album.
Cuckoo Cuckoo.
Anyway, track number 5. You know, I should be leaving soon.
I love this song.
I am so happy this is just an instrumental.
It's really cool for an instrumental. I think it's nice. It varies between a 3/4, 4/4, and 5/4 time signature, which is really cool. This also feels kind of like a prog song. Like I feel I could envision myself listening to this on a forest adventure. You know. Okay,
interesting. A forest adventure. I do like the Tears for Fears-esque guitar picking pattern. I did think that was kind of nice. It's not the instrumental as a whole. It's not that bad. I don't think it's really anything that special, but it does kind of give off the vibe of a jam session. Yeah, that's like waiting for the lead of
to come in,
or at least tell him to hey stop. But like after a while, I feel like the guitar riff just gets a little bit annoying.
I gotcha. I mean, that's a problem like throughout this whole album for like someone who's not going to be into it.
But it's okay. I just feel like I'm getting a little bit fatigued from the fact that there were like no really memorable moments.
Okay.
in my opinion.
I gotcha.
Again, and for people who like this album, I'm sorry.
This is a cult classic, so
Yeah. Listen, let me state right here, I am more than willing to take the heat for my opinions on this album. And if you want me to re-listen to it and revisit it later on as I've had some space,
depressed.
yes, when I'm depressed, I will immediately start recording. I'll live stream it if you will. No, but I will immediately. If this is like a cult classic album, I will gladly take whatever hate I get from my opinions because
I mean,
yeah,
like people, there are definitely like people, especially in like the music, I guess like critic scene, that don't really like this album either. So I was telling you about this. There's this thing called MU Core, which is like 4chan's like top albums of all time, and this is on there. And like people have done videos where like they rank their albums, and American Football usually falls somewhere in the middle of them. So it's fair that people like don't like it, but this album just kind of grew on me. So
that's
I
fair.
don't know.
Maybe I just gotta re-listen like later on, and I'll be like, I get it now.
I'm just saying there are people like you, Matt, that don't like this album.
Okay,
yeah.
But I'm willing for any of y'all to disagree with me. I'm more than willing because. Please disagree with me. I want to make a good argument for me, please. But that's really all I had to say. I feel like, well, actually, no, that isn't all I had to say. I feel like I envision the 2000s with this album a lot.
That's fair.
Like I can see the Drake and Josh.
I can see the flannels.
The short sleeve over top a very long
Jinko
sleeve
jeans.
Oh, I can see Drake Bell's haircut.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. In Drake and Josh specifically, not just in general. That'd be kind of weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't hate it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate it. Number 6.
Yeah.
What were we going to say?
I was going to say, shall I move on?
Yes.
And here we are.
Yes, we. But the regrets are killing me, AJ. That is the title of the song.
Do you regret listening to this album, Matt?
I like the tempo of this one. And this one is not horrible.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this song is like pseudo deep.
Okay.
A little bit. Someone told me that about Coldplay, which I kind of agree with that too.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I sometimes listen to Coldplay. I used to like Coldplay when I was younger, and by younger I mean last year. But anyway, I don't really listen to them that much anymore. That was kind of just a phase.
I've never listened to them except for the one song.
I really only listened to them. It wasn't even last year. Oh my god, it was actually more quarantine when I just needed to pick me up.
Yeah.
And they write very happy music and very like cathartic music. So I liked. Just the fact that it made me feel something in a time where nobody was feeling anything.
Gotcha.
It's kind of why my Beatles phase also kind of like
petered out.
It kind of like started and then
petered out.
All right, Peter. No, it's why it kind of started and then it like sort of fell very fast. As the restrictions of quarantine was sort of like, lessening and lessening over time, I kind of just was like, this isn't for me. But yeah. But the regrets are killing me. It's not horrible. I feel like it's just a little bit pseudo deep. It's a great. I don't know what I wrote here in my notes.
What are you trying to say?
This is a great example of that kind of lyric. Right? It's pseudo deep. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. I feel like the mixing of the drums is just not doing it for me.
Okay.
I feel like it's like, I don't know. Like I feel like they just need to be more present,
more punchy, if you will.
I guess so.
So be it. I don't know. This song actually, I would have agreed with you had we done this like 2 weeks ago. But this song actually really grew on me the more I listened to it. It has like a kind of like gothic 80s alt rock feel to it. Something about like The Cure or New Order. And it sounded like of the guitars, which I really like a lot. And the vocal delivery too. So that's what like it reminded me of. I was like, oh, this is actually like, really cool. And I also like the drums. It's a really cool pattern where it's 3 bars of 4/4, 1 bar of 5/4, and then 9/4 before going back to the pattern. It's they try some cool shit. So
9/4.
It enthralls me. I enjoy it.
Interesting. The vocal things, in my opinion, were not executed very well.
Fair.
I feel like a lot of his vocals are very muffled, especially in the backgrounds with like the backing vocals, because they just sound like, I don't know, like. Wait, what the fuck? I wrote the "are killing me" parts just sound like he's muffling into his hands. Up tit he mic. Up tit he mic. You know what they say in the business.
I thought you I first said the R. Kelly parts.
Are killing me is what I said.
Yeah.
Not R. Kelly.
R. Kelly's American Football.
Oh.
That'd be the worst thing ever.
You know, he released an album after he officially got arrested.
That's awful.
And then it saying stuff like basically like an "I did it" kind of thing. I'm pretty sure. And then it got immediately taken down off of Spotify.
Good.
What a fucking man. But anyway, Jesus Christ.
Shall I move on to the next track, or you got more to say?
I was going to say it's kind of flat.
All right.
Yeah.
Moving on, we have I'll See You When We're Not So Emotional.
Let me just say for the record also, when I said what a fucking man, I meant that in a bad way.
Yeah, he's the worst.
Yeah,
man.
he's a piece of shit. That's
Yeah.
what he is.
Yes.
That I did not mean that as a compliment.
What a man.
Yeah, I realized that like a few seconds. I was like, wait, that sounds not good. But yeah, no, he's a piece of shit. That's what I meant.
Yes.
That's what I meant by
Let's
that.
get the record straight. We hate R. Kelly.
Yes, we do. We do. Hey, no mob.
They like us.
Kyle, they really like us. No, but I'll see you when we're both not so emotional.
Yeah.
I definitely like this one more than the previous.
Yeah, it's probably the most bombastic song on here, the most like up tempo. So I can feel that.
The lyrics again for me were pretty shallow and boring. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And
It's fine.
And his voice is just like annoying. Yeah, like it's literally just like that. Like I feel like when songs are weak in certain areas or like I don't want to say lacking because really songs shouldn't really be like lacking that much in general. But I feel like when they're not as strong in some areas, you kind of have to like sub it out in like a different area.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to sort of provide
like overcompensate kind of.
Yeah, to distract it from that. And I feel like there is just like a lack of balance in terms of the substitution.
Gotcha.
It's such an almost there kind of song and an almost there kind of album, in my opinion. Like it's almost like
Gotcha. Like have things everybody mixed differently if the lyrics were better.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Mostly the mixing. I feel like I could get past the lyrics if it was just mixed like a little bit better.
Okay.
Like honestly, I really just almost there. I feel like the drums need to be a little bit louder for mostly every song on this album. And I know it's supposed to be like chill, like College Boy or High School Boy.
College, I think.
All right. But making him louder would not kill anybody.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
That's fair. But like, again, for what they are, I really like them. I like the beat a lot.
That's fair.
I don't really mind the way that they're mixed. I feel like everything sounds fine in general. I like being able to pinpoint everything in my ears without having to like kind of really listen for it. I will agree. I guess like if there was more polish on it, it could be like amazing. But for what it is, I think it has like a charm to it, you know?
I'm glad that you prefaced it like that for sure, because like I can definitely see with like this whole equilibrium of like the mixing and stuff like I can definitely see why somebody would like it if that's what they're looking for. And I guess maybe that just wasn't what I was looking for when I was listening and not the right headspace. So maybe I will have to give it another try with that in mind.
Yeah.
For sure. Stay Home, track number 8.
Yes, this is the penultimate number on here. And Matt, you have some words about this one.
So, here, I'm just going to read you what I wrote.
Okay.
That's actually the first word that I wrote. Okay, a minor intro. I feel like having songs with the longest intro is only fun a few times. There's got to be a build-up, but nothing seems emphasized or anything. It's just also monotone. Okay, is there ever a climax to the song? The drums sound so wrong. The cymbals are at the forefront of it all, and everything else just sounds so muffled. I thought they were hand drums at first, but they are a kit. Oh, so now the song actually happens. That intro is over 3 fucking minutes. They sing, "But That's Life, It's So Social" 13 times. I fucking counted 13 times. I don't hate the instrumentation behind it, but holy shit, this is pretentious. Wow, I really went off. I don't even remember writing this. Like all of your songs, literally have no substance, and this one might be the most fucking vanilla ice cream song ever created. I love the harmony at the 10th, "But That's Life, It's So Social." The song is 8 minutes. I don't get the lyrics. They sound like it's someone giving advice. I genuinely hate this song. Well, I don't think I hate this song anymore. I don't like it. And upon this last listen that I had like recently, I definitely, I don't say I love it either.
It's just neutral.
That was what I wrote when I first listened to it.
Yeah.
So,
hey man, I understand. This is my least favorite track on the album for much of those same reasons. There's a lot of build up and the payoff isn't that great. The repetitive lyrics are very boring. Nothing really happens. It's written in 7/4, which is neat.
It is neat. I will give it that. The signature, time signature is pretty cool.
Again, technically it's really, really well played, but at the same time, there's really nothing interesting happening. So Matt, I can agree. This is probably my least favorite song on the album.
I will say, I will give this album another listen in due time. Not anytime soon.
I don't blame you.
Definitely in due time, I will give this a listen, and maybe we'll revisit it, and maybe I'll talk about it. We should make like a top 10, like our least favorite tracks, like
that we've done on the podcast. That'd be fun.
That'd be a fun one. We could do like these little episodes, like
mini-sodes.
Yeah, be fun. I would enjoy that.
Me too.
Now this next track, the one with the Wurlitzer.
Yes.
I wrote, wow, and they chose to end in a bland instrumental.
You didn't like this song? I fucking love this song.
The horn, again, is one of the, in my opinion, is one of the only things going for this song. Everything else is just so repetitive. I got a real, Jesus Christ.
Matt was mean today.
Was I like really angry when I wrote? Like I definitely I listened to it the first time. This is all the stuff that I'm reading in my notes, ladies and gentlemen. They
based on the first listen.
Yes, and honestly, I haven't looked at my notes.
This is the one with the Wurlitzer, not honestly.
Kyle, could you write me a resignation letter and put it on AJ's desk? No, but what was it? This one, the only reason why I gave the song brownie points was one, it's the shortest song.
Yeah.
And two, it's an instrumental that doesn't really seem to try and present overly shallow lyrics and guitar and bad drums. And I will say the drums aren't bad. It's the mixing of the drums that I really had the problem with. But honestly, like at least it was an instrumental. There's a third for you.
I mean, I feel like it's really, really nice. I feel like it's really nice here where it's something different with the Wurlitzer keyboard. Has this nice kind of like, I guess like cathartic kind of feel at the end where it's a little bit uplifting after going through all this like kind of sadness. The trumpet horn is great as usual. The drums, while not like the most complex, hold it down really well. The guitars are great. The bass is great. There are no vocals to complain about. So it's one of my personal favorites. I really like this song a lot.
I guess I can kind of see this song as uplifting just like a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, not my favorite whatsoever. I don't even know which one would be my favorite. I think, honestly, I'm
not going to say it this time.
I feel like that's why I made that noise. I feel like my favorite might be either 1 or 2.
Nevermen or Summer Ends?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or For Sure.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah. Do you want me to give my conclusion?
Well, I mean, we are at that point, so nothing really else to talk about.
Yes. No, there is not.
What are your final thoughts, Matt?
All right. I'm going to read what I wrote, and then maybe I'll correct it as I go along. Conclusion. I said, this album is fucking boring. Like, there's no feeling in it in any way the musicians handle their instruments. It's all bland and emotionless. I got nothing from this album. It is background music at best. Which I kind of disagree. I feel like now that this whole idea of like active listening and not trying to actively search for all the instruments, because I know like with all like the waveform editing and stuff like that, you sometimes want to listen out for stuff, but you wish, I wish I heard that part louder for a little bit longer. So I get it. So like with that in mind, I'll give it a re-listen. But the singer/songwriter of this album also needs to take some classes about nuance.
Holy shit. God damn.
Holy mother of God. Like I agree with my past self from like from a few weeks ago.
You killed him.
But like Jesus Christ.
Holy moly.
That was a lot even for me. I need any fan of this album to plead their case because honestly the whole thing is 40 minutes of my time wasted.
Well, hey Matt, I gave you my case.
Listen, if you guys in the comments, please disagree with me. Please give me some points. Please give me some things to look out for. I want it. I want someone to plead like a great case for this album. I gave this a 4 out of 10 and a most generous C tier.
God damn, dude.
It sounds like unfinished demos to me.
Holy shit, man. All right. Do you any points you want to elaborate on or disagree with?
I think it's just the mixing. I feel like I could get over anything lyrically in this album if just the mixing was just like a little bit like, I don't know.
Like more professional?
More professional and just more like,
like less amateur, I guess. Like not as muffled, boggled down.
I feel like when it comes to like mixing and stuff, there is like a little bit of like imbalance, but in like a way, like obviously some things are usually going to be louder than other things, and some things are going to be louder in specific sections than other things are in other sections. You know what I mean? Like just that's how waveform editing is, especially with like multi-track editing. But I don't know. I feel like with this album, it's like it's just the same level throughout the whole thing, and I just got so fatigued trying to like trying to enjoy it.
I got you.
So, I'm just trying to listen. So yes, I will preface this again. If you want to disagree with me, please by all means do it in a tasteful way.
Yes.
But like,
yes.
please, no, I'm kidding. Even if not, like please plead your case. I want to like this. That's the thing. I want to like this album. Please give me a good reason to. So that's what I got to say.
All right. Well, as you can tell, I probably disagree. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Had we done this podcast like back in October or September when I first listened to this, I would have 100% agree with you. I thought it was extremely boring the first time I listened to it. But again, I got in the right mindset when I listened to it. The more I listened to it, the more I appreciated it. I love the musicianship. The lyrics, while being, fake deep, I still think they're fine because they're used sparingly and they're very subtle, which I think is really cool. The instrumentation, they're technically really good. Like, this is a really good example of math rock. I'm not really into emo at all, but like I could definitely feel what they were feeling, which is really cool. Even if it sounds repetitive, there are moments where there's stuff that's different to differentiate, to not keep it as repetitive as it goes throughout. The different time signatures especially help with that, with all the different feelings. So I would say overall, I think I might give this a 9 out of 10. I might put this in A tier.
Okay.
I really came around on this album.
Okay. Listen, present me with a good argument. I might agree with you eventually.
Are my arguments not good?
I need more arguments, AJ. You're on the show. I need the outside
fair.
perspective.
That's fair.
But hey, listen, I don't think the album is bad enough to be like a failing album.
Yeah.
But I definitely, as of right now, C tier for me. I feel like.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is probably the most different opinions episode we ever had, which is really interesting.
It is very interesting.
It was kind of fun.
It kind of was.
I
Yeah,
liked it.
I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of fun. And I'm happy that I listened to it because like I've never been like really in the mainstream in terms of like albums. So it's like nice to listen to something that collectively people think is good, and it's fun to disagree with it.
You can be a contrarian.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy this episode a lot.
This was a fun one. Well, I believe that just about does it, ladies and gentlemen. As usual, I'm your host, AJ Tenari.
And I am Matt Glass.
Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week.
Peace.